How's it going? My name is Resta. Welcome to this demo video of the app that I built called Aftertalk. Okay, let's just dive into it. I just recorded a 60-minute long audio. It was a breakdown of how I built the whole application. And the idea that I had was when I have it record everything so I can go back and talk to it and ask about different questions and things that I didn't understand while I was building things. Because there's a lot, let's be honest. But a few key details I can talk to you about right now is some models I use and some kind of things that went, oh, okay, that's good, right? So for transcription and everything, you record using like AV audio engine, right? Just normal. And then the AI, the LLM I tried to use it was instead of going with open models like Gemma and like all other models, right? I chose with Apple's foundation model. And why I did that was it's intelligent enough for what I do, right? I could have used MLX Swift and tried to do it with Gemma, like the Google OpenAI model, but I didn't choose to go that way because then I had to make like a whole JSON output, send it back, all that. Don't care. Everything will be handled with the Apple Foundation model, right? And then the other one is I'm using Moonshine, and the model I'm using is small. Moonshine small is what I'm using. I tried 3 of them. So I tried Tiny. First I tried Tiny, it was fast, but the transcription was not very accurate. So I was not happy with it. But then I tried Medium, right? I bumped it up, like, okay, let's just go straight. Transcription was very great, but when I noticed, I was listening to this Andre Carpeti podcast, right? And then after 15 minutes, I stopped the recording and I was like, it was still transcribing on display. I was like, what? How does that happen, right? And it was very slow when streaming back to the user, right, on the phone. So it took me about 2 more minutes for it to stop transcribing to get to the exact point where I stopped the video, if that makes sense. And I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Then the fix I did was switch to small model, which was very quick. I just showed you the proof that on those videos, it was 1 hour in, but it was transcribing in real time, whatever was happening. So very happy with that. But Moonshine is not very good at polishing and then storing these transcripts, right? So what I did was I used a two method, like Moonshine for your transcription on the streaming side, right, and transcribe the audio. But then I saved that WAV files, right, the audio file, and then I use Parakeet model. The exact model I'm using is 0.6 billion parameter, Parakeet TDT version 2. What it does, it's like a batch model, right? It'll basically phrase everything and then refactor them in a summary. Like how we can just see it just took some time because it was an hour long, but then it will rank open questions, topics, coded moments, product philosophy down. It will do all of this, right? Decisions, these are all a little summary from the whole 1 hour clip, which I'm very happy, right? These are all the transcript with all the speakers and everything. Like it can distinguish between speakers. These are all the accents taken in. But one interesting point, let me point it out. I just saw the button. You see how when I hit copy, it said copied, right? And when I try to paste it on my Mac, right? When I try pasting it on my Mac, it doesn't let you, right? That's very interesting. Why? Because in the real world scenario or other apps, if you copy a text, it will let you paste that on your Mac, right? Because things travel from like iCloud, like network, and then it lands to your, there's something going on, like a network call. And the whole project of this was 0 network call. So I strictly suggested the system to not let this happen. So you can copy it elsewhere, right? You can copy it elsewhere, but you cannot get transferred to like other things. Like you can copy it this way, see how it copies, but it doesn't transfer to the other things. Well, bringing me back to the transcript, it summarized everything. If you don't like the summary, you can hit repair. I'm not gonna do that because I just waited a few minutes. It took about 5 minutes to generate me a summary for 1 hour long. So that is the polish happening. But other things I want to talk about was how I had a retrieval thing. So for the retrieval, I was using, there's a dual logic. When I was doing a project, right, the hallucination thing, when the Apple foundational model is not enough, right, I think the token context window is only 4,000 token, which is like 25 or 3,000 words if speaking. And in an hour-long meeting, there's a lot of words, right? But it's enough for 10 minutes meeting, right? 2,000, 3,000 words is enough. You have like few system prompts. But then what I'm trying to get here is what to do if it's an hour-long meeting. You need to have a retrieval method since the foundational model is not good enough, right? Here's what I did. So if it's longer transcript, right? I've taken all the notes, by the way. I'm also looking at all my notes, the flow charts and everything I draw, right, for the whole systems. And then what I did was, if it's a longer retrieval, I use two hybrid retrieval methods. So one of them is dense semantic search, like a dense retrieval. Another one is keyword search, like TF-IDF, but I didn't use TF-IDF. Those are the kind of thing Google uses for like search. When you search it on Google console, it will bring you back like scripted text and then files that matches the keywords when you hit Control F, right? But the one I'm using is called BM25. It's more advanced, very good. So how I'm doing is, one is NLContext, which uses like a vector thing, like cosine -1 and 1, and depending on angle, how close the meanings are, it returns the thing. It returns the chunk. That's one. Another is BM25, keyword match. If it matches the same thing, it will return. Now the problem is there's two chunk, right? Which one do we prioritize? Like which one should the LLM answer from, right? Then how do I combine is I use an algorithm called RRF. RRF is Reciprocal Rank Fusion. It has its own name. Rank Fusion is more like discard the meaning. I'm not gonna check which one is closer on the degree, or I'm not gonna check which one is indexed higher, but I'm gonna check the rank. Let's say if one of them is ranked first and the BM retrieval is ranked 40, right? That doesn't make sense. But if the semantic ranked 2 and the BM ranked 3, this is better than that 1 and 45, right? Then that uses this one. The LLM uses this to retrieve. So that's the kind of thing that went to. And then for the text to speech, of course, I'm using Kokoro. It sounds more natural, right? Kokoro ED2. And then there's a lot of interesting features. Actually, Kokoro is also used for streaming, right? Streaming over the badge. And then, oh, interesting. So I was trying to go with this auto barge-in. Like when I talk to Gemini, I can just be like, hey, and then it will stop and listen to me. When I try to do it, it's cool because it's on cloud, right? Everything is on cloud. It knows and it's streaming on cloud, everything. But for local model, if I do auto barge-in, I tried it on the first day, right? Some of the streaming the Kokoro is doing, it bleeds into the question when I'm asking. Like not everything, but like last few words bleeds into the question that I'm asking. So if I ask, hey, what are the topic discussed in this meeting? Then it bleeds in, right? Which is kind of, it doesn't make sense. So I was like, okay, let me just put it to push to talk. It's at the end of the day, it's just a demo, right? So that I can get the whole retrieval and all that. By the way, which we're gonna go and walk through now. So I think that was too much of a talking. That was cool concepts that I thought, right? And another one is I put a grounding gate before LLM even sees the answer, right? And then that's why if your question is wrong, it will just answer you. I don't have that in the transcript because AI doesn't even have access to it yet. So it's just using an orchestrator in middle to check if it's in the chunk to even go and look into it and get you answer. That was it. Another one is, I think VAD gates. There's some like technical terms like how iPhone mic record like 48 KSJ speech. Best speech models are like 16 kilohertz, and then normal human speak at 8, but then I have to tone it down to 16, and then cancel out 60%, and then how to make sure that the speaker word is not cutting off. Those are the kind of things, but let me go ahead and quickly give you a demo. Okay, here we are. I just recorded thing. Let's try to ask a few questions. Open question, how does privacy monitor prove offline nature? How does privacy monitor prove data nature, or whatever it was? I forgot the answer. So you see how fast it is? It gives you things. It starts speaking, right? Let's try to ask different question. What is the main architecture design that was discussed in this meeting. So pretty quick, I'll say, under 3,000 milliseconds, which is under 3 seconds, right? And it also gives you speaker notes. You can go to the speaker notes, it will take you to the transcript and read more if you want, right? And you can go to direct chat. How many meetings have I had in total? So I will tell you all that. What is the most common, has there been any AI meetings I have been to? So it's searching everything, and there's a meeting on Aftertalk, it just gave you that, fairly common scenario, things like this, right? So very proud of this project. I think the last few things I want to say is thank you so much for giving me this project. It was a very most enjoyed project I did. First time building an iOS app, but I'm really proud of what I did. I have documented everything on GitHub for you to see it. I can share the screen right now. So right now we're in my GitHub, and then this is the Aftertalk. Just want to show you quick things in the GitHub. So here we are. I have a few titles, few tags that I liked, and I've done like 146 commits over 3.5 days, which is really cool. And this is the logo I came up with. Really cool logo as well. But then as you can see, there's a quick demo that I put as a GIF, and then here are some of the things mentioned. This is all the models and things I use, Panode, Kokoro, full audio for like those transcription and like diarization dilemma kind of things. And then here's all the markdown file you can read on, like how everything, like how it was built and things that I use and patterns I use from prior work, things like that, right? You can all read that, but then here's what it does. That's a product tour, how the UI looks, and then here's the architecture that really goes behind. And this is the Q&A flow. This is the stack I'm using for now, right? And this is the privacy layer, build layer, test status. There's an open source license under me. And then I think, yeah, that was it. Actually very proud, and this is how my setup looks. So I have Claude here and Codex here. Debugging everything, same time, trying to do everything. But yeah, and I also have an Obsidian log with all the concept, so I don't lose anything when it needs to get the memory. But yeah, here you go. I'm going through nothing to